Welcome to Mecha March Mondays. It's probably self-explanatory what the theme of the next month of anime is going to be on this channel. But before we get started, I want you guys to know something. So I'm leaving a disclaimer on this damn video. This is simply my own journey and my own perspective on how to go about this. So do not, I repeat, do not slander me because I didn't add a show that you think is important to the order. Gundam is a very complex rabbit hole to go down when you don't understand where to start because it has dozens of series with multiple timelines. Not only that, a lot of these shows are harder to swallow and are 40 to 50 episodes long, so I know many of you are going to want to know how to get the best experience out of the franchise without watching a bunch of deadweight series that won't even leave an impact on you. So here's my take on it. Let's get started. This first segment is for people that's like me and they have to start something from its ground root. You don't like hearing, well, you could start from here, or the first two series aren't important, so why? No. You're hell bent on starting something from the beginning. It's called the Universal Century Timeline, and it's the main flowing timeline for the Gundam universe. Also, I won't be doing any heavy plot breakdowns, so if you want a lengthened explanation of the plot, you're gonna have to go and do your Googles. I'll leave a red star on the ones that are sort of mandatory, and a yellow star on the ones that you could skip if you wanted to. The first series to start the Gundam franchise off is exactly that ground root. Mobile Suit Gundam 0079. If you've ever seen the flags for the Earth Federation in Zeon, this is where it originally came from. Also, the infamous white, blue, and red mecha that would be a standard beast for majority of the shows that came after it debuted here as well. I must say, it's a hard watch because it came out in 1979, so not only is the art style and animation so dated that many may not be able to get past it, but the entire vibe, character interactions, and flow of the story may be tough as well. It's still a cool tale, and it laid the foundation for many other legendary shows later on in this video. So if you want to make it your Mount Everest of anime challenges, give it a shot. The next show, chronological to the Universal Century Timeline, is my favorite Gundam series, the 8th MS Team. It takes place on the mainland, or I guess in this case, main planet, sometime during the events of 0079, and I consider this to be a reward for getting through the original 0079, because I'll say it again, it's a pretty tough pill. It also stands as one of the only Gundam series, if not the only Gundam, to be more of a mecha anime as opposed to a big mech war in space, as the entire story takes place in the jungle. This one, by the way, has great art style and animation, as it was an OVA from the late 90s. After that, you'll travel a bit back in time to the 80s for a little charming story about a boy and his significantly older friend with Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket. I believe this took place following the events of 0079. This one, for most people, tend to tug on emotions. Next up is 0083 Stardust Memory. So this is the other 90s Gundam OVA that to me wasn't as good as 8th MS Team, but it takes you back into space. Remember, not all of these are mandatory, but it is a precursor to the next series in line. The next massive foundation point in the tower of Gundam is 0087 Zeta Gundam. It came out in the mid 80s, so now we have much better art style animation, but the story could be a hit or miss. Its tone is much darker beginning to end, and you could really either love or despise the main protagonist. I enjoyed it, but you may not. But it is a significant plot point in the Gundam timeline. I see a lot of people saying not to watch this next series, but bruh, it is a direct sequel to Zeta Gundam, down to the name. Double Zeta Gundam was always known to have a really whack first half and pick up in the second, and many say to just skip it because it's 50 episodes, but again, it's a part of the main timeline. 0093 Shara's Counterattack is a movie that sets another plot point for the Gundam timeline. Another one you may hear people say could be skipped. Ignore them. Anyone who's invested their emotions to seeing the Zeon Earth Federation op story to the very end are gonna want to see this for sure. So everything else Universal Century I have not seen, and that would be movies like Gundam F91, which disgusts a lot of people, and shows like Victory Gundam, which supposedly takes place in the distant future of the Universal Century. I say you could really free for all the other Universal Century stuff after Shara's Counterattack because there isn't really any more major plot points to follow that I know of. So let's move on to the other segment, the alternate universes. So this is for people who obviously might have hit a dead-end road going through the Universal Century, or just want to watch something as a taste to Gundam with no strings attached. They're set in their own universes and carry their own energy and at times introduce new gimmicks. Not my personal favorite, but most Gundam fans got a soft spot for 1994's Mobile Fighter G Gundam. This was the first Gundam to take on its own universe and was literally a shonen hybrid with the Gundam formula. It for sure was aimed towards a less intellectual audience, and it does have some incredible fights, but in my opinion it may be too long for the most of you. If 50 episodes isn't too much for you, then check it out. A year later came the one that we all know and constantly hear about when it comes to Gundam, the infamous Gundam Wing After Colony. Hell, it's probably the reason most people even got introduced to the name Gundam in the first place. Toonami, YTV, if you're in Canada, all of that. It also has a correlated movie, OVA, called Endless Waltz that you're free to check out as well. The year after that came After War Gundam X, which I haven't seen yet, but it actually takes place in a post-apocalyptic sort of Gundam world. And many say it has a lot of alignments with the Universal Century. Most of it was broken down into small arcs instead of one rabbit hole of a story. So next was Turn A Gundam, which takes place in the CC era, which stands for Correct Century. I haven't seen this one either. After that is the other Gundam that we saw on TV as kids, which is Gundam Seed and Seed Destiny, which is a love it or hate it show. I never really seen anyone who was in the middle. It was either the story and characters turned you all the way off, or it turned you all the way on. The Seed series takes place in the Cosmic era. Finally, we have Gundam Double O, which is the most modern Gundam series that the core Gundam fanbase truly appreciates. It is treated as an updated extension of the Universal Century series, although it is totally different and even incorporates aliens at some point. Apparently, I haven't even seen it yet. So guys, there's literally dozens of other movies and OVAs and even series that you could check out where Gundam is concerned. But if you follow the lineup I just gave you, it'll give you a lot more control and direction to your experience. How many of these have you seen? Do you even agree with this list? Like the video, comment down below what y'all want to see next. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Animebackwhen. Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you really liked that video. I literally just got up to get my phone to record this because I literally just finished editing the video. I hope that was insightful. I know a lot of people like Gundam and stuff like that, or they're interested in getting into Gundam, but they don't know where to start. So I felt like I should throw that out there as like the first video to open up, Mecha March. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I worked kind of hard on it. And it's something that I've been meaning to do for a couple of years now, so I'm glad to finally have that out. I hope I don't look too much of a mess. I literally just got up to edit this video. It's like 6:44 in the morning right now. So thank you so much for watching. But also, I want to thank you guys so much for 500 subscribers. 500 subscribers. I hit 500. I'm probably sitting at like 498 at the recording of this, but I already know by the time I put this out, which is going to be like 5 days from now, I'm probably going to cross over 500. So I want to thank you guys so much for now. And stay tuned for another video I'm going to be putting out. Actually, let me go over it now. I'll go over it now. So in honor of me hitting 500 subscribers, I'm going to be launching my, something is probably better I do an actual separate video for this. But what I am going to do is I'm going to stay and I'm going to talk a little bit. Just on my appreciation. It's been 4 years since I started the channel. I started the channel, coming up on 4 years. I started the channel probably like summer crossing into fall of 2017. So we're pushing the 4-year mark. It's been a journey. I put some little shitty reviews, literally with me sitting in an environment like this, just talking about an anime with a small little square box of clips in, this is before I knew to chop up clips and stuff like that, to not get them copyrighted. So I started off with that, and then I evolved into doing actual videos with actual clips and recording the the script and stuff like that, and those were kind of shitty at the beginning. I started doing those. I actually didn't start doing those, so I started 2017 just doing the talking, sitting reviews, and then 2019 is when I started doing actual videos. And I think the first video I put out was Years in Anime 2000, which I need to do an updated version of that because I've seen way more legendary anime from the year 2000 since then, and that video is kind of weak. So I'm probably going to do an updated version to that video. And then I kind of just, you know, gradually, you know, learned new tricks and learned what worked for me, kept watching anime, kept making videos, and then they got better and better and better until they got to how they are now. And I had a 6-month period from like January to, or 4 or 5 month period from January of last year of 2020 to like, I think I put out the Miyazaki video, and then I put out a OVA cover of Read to Die, a review of Read or Die. And then I kind of just went AWOL. I left at 150 subscribers, and I kind of just went AWOL. And I watched as over the months, over the course of 2020, without even putting out videos, a lot of people started finding me. And the next thing you know, I was at 200, then I was at 300. And then around like 3 something, I said, fuck, man, I got to hop back in. Because I'm really, I was going through a lot though last year. So that's kind of why I never was too focused on the channel. But then I just got a spark to do it again like a couple of months ago, 2-3 months ago. So, you know, I boosted like 100 subscribers over the past like month from a couple of videos, helped to skyrocket that to 97 years in anime, 97, 98, a couple of the Shimigami Tensei videos that I did, the Battle Angel Alita video I did a couple of months ago. And man, I can't thank you guys enough for subscribing. Thank you so much for all the people that continue to come back and comment and stay in touch. I'm not sure if everybody that's been around for the last like year or two is still here, but I know like Zeno HD comes to Abdullah. Shout out to him. I see him all the time. Dan Buster is a guy that's always commenting. Recently Bob Samurai, who's been one of my favorite anime tubers going back to like 2015. He recently joined the family, and I see him commenting on videos, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining, bro. Who else? Because there's a couple of other people. I if I didn't remember your name, I apologize, because there's a good dozen of you that comment fairly often on my videos, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. But listen, I'm checking out. I hope you guys like the video. Go watch you some Gundam. Gundam is phenomenal. I'm telling you, go get into Gundam. You don't have to get into the old stuff if you don't want to watch the old stuff, but some of the go back over the video and watch some of the alternate universe stuff. But I'm checking out. Expect more reviews, more covers, all that type of stuff coming soon. Like the video, comment down below what y'all want to see next. I am out. Thanks for watching Anime Backwhen. Peace.